9 to noon, back with you on a Monday. Nordo being mad producer and the master mixer of the patented 9 to noon Monday montage. A little ditty called Cloud 9 by the Temptations, a Motown-based band. And Motown money spends quite nicely when snapping a 2-game losing streak and beating the reigning division champions. Motown money is currency for the downtrodden on the comeback trail and beating up on the bully on the block. Martha Reeves and the Vandellas was an option with the Motown classic, Nowhere to Run, Nowhere to Hide. Why? Because Motown money sounds better in FM. Nowhere to Run, Nowhere to Hide. Why? Because for Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, the best running back duo in the old National Football League, there just never was any room to run or any room to hide. Van Ginkel made a difference. Javon Hargrave looked the part. And Blake Cashman had 14 tackles and a forced fumble. Stevie Wonder for a Stevie Wonderful Monday because Motown money sounds better in FM. It is a Stevie Wonderful Monday. Stevie Wonder, part of the iconic and elite Motown stable. He got a song called "Don't You Worry About a Thing." That was an option for the Mad Producer Monday montage. That was an answer on the wheel of montage classics. But we're up here floating on cloud 9 right now. Hopefully you are too. If only for a single Sunday, Vikings fans went to bed worrying about little and instead sawed logs, wearing hard hats and wielding hammers, just as their favorite football team did yesterday. Cloud 9 for a week. Cloud 9 for a week. And then here comes Lamar off a baby bye. We're underdogs again. Underdogs at home, you said. All right. Yesterday, 9-point underdogs to the reigning division champions. And the Minnesota Vikings absolutely looked the part yesterday in beating the Motor City Kitties and placing 9 to noon on Cloud 9. We're exactly where we want to be. Here comes Lamar. 9-point dogs yesterday. So what are some keys leading to the art of an upset? It's nice when early in the game, stuff like this happens.
2nd and 15 from the Vikings 22. McCarthy out of the shotgun. Fakes a handoff to Mason. Loops it left to Jones. Great play. Gets to the 30 by the sideline to the 40. Aaron Jones chopped down at the 50-yard line, and he falls ahead to the Lions 47. A catch and run by Aaron Jones. 31 yards, first down.
How excited were you, Nordo, when you saw a running back in the mix making big plays?
Oh, my God. How good was it to have Aaron Jones back? We got to sweat the AC joint thing. I get it.
Yeah.
But whether it was the nearly 9 yards a carry.
And I think there's a toe.
There might be a toe.
There's a toe also.
But we got all week to figure out the toe and the shoulder. What I'm still on a Monday marveling at is right out of the gates, the head coach is like, I need Showtime to work. If we're going to win at Ford Field, the art of an upset, I have to establish something with number 3-3. And out of the backfield as a runner. Yeah. Terrific work yesterday, really setting the tone on those early scoring drives. But then plays like that. A play, by the way, that the Vikings, it was a little differently constructed. They tried to start at SoFi against the Chargers with a similar swing pass setup to Aaron Jones. It went incomplete. But the timing of this play, the timing of the offense yesterday, so in rhythm together, and just the work of the fake one way, and he's got to hold it. He's got to wait for the Aiden Hutchinsons and the Aleem McNeils to think they're going after number 9, and for him to just loop that over the head of the defender to Aaron Jones. Many things to work on, but many things in sync yesterday.
And I'm glad you said many things on which to work, because Cloud 9, where we are right now, Cloud 9, if it dissipates and you come crashing back to earth, we're not going to call it reality. We're going to say if you come crashing back down, well, the fan has learned that sometimes it can hurt. So it's not like this was this was some form of a perfect game.
Cashman with 9 tackles already. Goff facing a blitz, gets away from it, throws left, and David Montgomery caught it. Byron Murphy whiffed on the tackle. Come on! Montgomery to the 20, to the 15, stopped at the 10. I mean, Goff should have been sacked. Great job to duck under it, but it's unacceptable to miss that open field tackle on David Montgomery by Byron Murphy. It's a 14-yard first down gain.
Come on.
So there was that.
Yeah.
But the tackling yesterday had to be on point, especially against these high-enders, man. These high-enders with their shifty moves and their cunning and their guile, especially Jahmyr Gibbs. It looked like the Minnesota Vikings defense may, in very, very low-key fashion, very low-key. Lots of respect for the Alabama kid. But it looked like they may have beaten some desire out of Jahmyr Gibbs as the game went on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was impressive. I'm excited to hear from Bursich to get his thoughts on it. There was something different about how Flores deployed some of those blitzes yesterday, whether he was disguising them, maybe there was less pre-snap motion and trickery going on. Because it was effective almost all day, specifically early. You saw Ivan Pace. There was one of the 5 sacks on Goff. Still trying to figure out how he got to Goff 5 times.
Right.
But Ivan Pace sent Jahmyr Gibbs into freaking orbit and right into the lap of Jared Goff.
Yeah.
The pass protection issues for Jahmyr, not that he's ever been noted as an elite pass protecting back,
right?
But he's good at everything. And he was exposed a bit yesterday. Eric Wilson getting into the backfield. I thought this was in some ways, you look at the final score, 24 points. There was some masterpiece-esque work done by Flores in the game plan. For a guy that's really had trouble against these weapons in this particular team for the last several years.
I texted you late last evening. I couldn't get to sleep. And so what I did was I went to the Detroit Lions website and watched Dan Campbell's press conference. Likewise for Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown. And Dan Campbell started his press conference with the cursory / cliched tip of the cap to those guys. They put their pants on the same way we do. Excellent effort here, excellent effort there. All of about 9 seconds. Then the rest of the press conference was self-inflicted wounds. No, we beat ourselves.
Right.
Self-inflicted wounds. No, we have 11 people on offense. If one messes up, it messes up the whole operation. So there wasn't, and not that it has to be this way, but there wasn't a lot of, and hey, I want to tip my cap to that 51 guy who was tea-kettling half of my roster when he was running up the middle or around the edge. I found that to be a little interesting yesterday. The art of an upset has multiple facets to it, and they include, but are not limited to, stopping the Lions' run, tackling Gibbs, Miles Price 61 after the Lions scored, and 164 return yards overall. Hey, 164 on the return yards. Well done, Miles Price.
I assume that 164 doesn't include the 99.
No, it doesn't.
It does not.
Figuring out the Laporta problem, that was key. We had a little bit of a Sam Laporta problem yesterday, early in the game, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we did.
The Iowa tight end clearly was identified as a game changer within the Detroit Lions offensive mix, and he went for 3 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown on the opening drive. 366 and 1 on the opening drive. 3 for 33. The final 57 and 1/2 minutes. We call that problem solving.
Yeah.
That's problem solving, ladies and gentlemen. Levi Drake Rodriguez blocked a kick and registered his first sack. Art of an upset, punched them in the metaphorical mouth. Hello, Blake Cashman, best defensive player all day for both teams. Welcome back to the spotlight. Javon Hargrave, he had a sack. Harrison Smith's 10th fumble recovery. Harrison Smith, the crafty veteran, was large and in charge. Ben Urasek and Nick Vanette. Who knew? Ben Urasek and Nick Vanette both filled in for Josh Oliver and brought hard hats and hammers. Justin caught a touchdown, which is always good for business. He also now has the 3rd most receptions in Minnesota Vikings history. Jalen Naylor, 1 catch, 1 dagger, 1 game ball from the head coach after the game. Sacked Jared Goff 5 times. 5 sacks on Jared Goff, who only had been sacked 13 times into the game. And your quarterback, in his third start, improved to 2-0 on the road and 2-0 in the division. The art of an upset, and one that transpired yesterday at Ford Field against the reigning division champions, and a team that was undefeated at home and won those 3 games by 15 points or more. Oh my God. 65 rushing yards for Gibbs and Montgomery. Holy cow. There's much more, and we have plenty of time to get into it. But following the game, your hyper announcer utilized what we call in the business the contraption, and walked around a very, very congested, jam-packed locker room for some patented victory drive-bys, and we began with rookie left guard Donovan Jackson, 74. What's going on?
What's up? Physical game, and you guys talked about it all week. Offensive and defensive lines, punch them, take the fight to them. You did it, right?
Yeah, no, that was definitely the message. We knew that they had a physical group on both sides of the ball, and they capitalized on that in pass games. So we knew that if we could match and even bring the energy to the next level, then we'll have a shot at this game.
Donovan Jackson, left guard for the Minnesota Moving Company. What was it like with McCarthy in the huddle late in a tight game like this? How was he?
He was calm the entire time. He was always encouraging, regardless of where we were. If we were up big, if we were close with 3 points up, he was like, hey man, like all we gotta do is worry about this play, and then after that we'll worry about the next play, but for now give everything you have for this one play. We'll sleep on the plane back.
Donovan Jackson, my main man, congratulations.
Thank you.
The Vikings beat the Lions 27-24, and these are some drive-bys in an incredibly cramped locker room. Let's roll over here. Here we go. Hey, Theo, congratulations. Theo Jackson joins us now. Super physical game, my man. Super physical game, and you guys talked about it all week. How you won, so it worked out great, but overall, how you think it went?
Honestly, I think that was a great team win. We needed to do it on all three phases. I mean, we had some setbacks with penalties and all that, but that's just the type of team that we have to fight through adversity and really just like come back and make the plays we need.
Hey, Theo, this may be a dumb question because you're a high-end competitor, but like when you're watching film or on TV of like Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, but specifically Gibbs, man, 218 from scrimmage last time he played against Tampa Bay. Do you have to watch it a certain way to be like, oh wow, holy cow, and then just wait till the game day, execute the plan Flores put out, and not worry about it?
I mean, when you see him on film, the speed definitely jumps out. So, in the back of our minds, that's a worry. But if we do what we need to be done, and then it really takes care of itself, like it did tonight.
Last one, bud, because I know you want to go. How good is Harrison Smith playing right now? Holy cow.
Hey, that's my dog, man. He's not going to lose a step.
Right. And you're fantastic. Thank you, Theo.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the victory. That's safety Theo Jackson, a hard hitting individual. And let's go over here real quick for these drive-bys. Aaron, real quick drive-by. Now I know you had to leave the game, and hopefully the shoulder's okay, Rob. You set the tone early. Holy cow, with those catches and those runs and everything. And every time you would get tackled, you would bounce up just super fired up. You've done so well against the Lions all of your career, but physicality was the theme all week, and your line, and everybody took it to them today.
100%. Let them know last night. The captains got a chance to speak in the meetings and told them just pop up. Have a lot of excitement after you make a play. Let them know. And every time you get up, keep letting them know. And it does something to other people's confidence. So I just told them, hey, let's have fun out here. Let's bring the energy, and you're gonna see it from me. So I wanted to start it off and let them see it from me, and let everybody follow.
Well, set the tone. I mean, it's like people are like, hey, run more. But there are ways. They're giving up 87 yards a game against the run, and McNeil's back with Reeder and all the guys so they're tough against the run. But that doesn't mean you have to run it between the tackles every time to get it done, man. Those little swing passes to you were lethal.
100%. KO does a great job of finding ways to give me the ball in space. And just be a weapon like that. So I feel like anytime I'm matched up against a backer, I should win. And then it's a lot a lot of eye candy stuff going on too, so you never know who's getting the ball.
Yeah. You're the ball, man. You're going to be all right?
Yes, sir. I'll be all right.
Right on. Congratulations, Aaron.
Yes, sir. Good to see you.
Yeah, you too, bud. Aaron Jones, indeed, it was showtime for his Minnesota Vikings today. Drive-bys, just a couple if you don't mind. TJ, how you doing, bud? Quick drive-by? Okay, congratulations on the victory. Came back to Ford Field, got the money, scored against your former team. Team got the money. I mean, what'd you think?
It was a blast. Great team win. Complimentary football all the way around. Special teams, defense, offense. A lot of fun. A lot of fun to come here in Ford Field and get a dub.
I'm looking forward to watching this thing back, man, because, I mean, without Josh Oliver and now Nick Vanette's elevated, you got Ben Urasek, the undrafted rookie from Georgia, and you know, so I would imagine that O'Connell and you guys had to do some different things with Vanette and or Urasek to keep you in the spot where you're a threat as a receiver, right?
Yeah. I mean, we Josh is a great blocking tight end. So you got to step up in that area. I mean, you got to move some people in the run game, and then we were able to outrush them today, which is huge. We talked about owning the line of scrimmage, and that's what we did. So got to love it. Got to love this group, and got to love this team.
Excellent win. Congratulations.
Appreciate you.
TJ Hawkinson, Justin, just real quick. Look at those chains. Holy cow! Hi, Justin.
What's good, man?
So anyway, let's start here. Team victory, okay? You guys came here, snapped that 5-game losing streak. You absolutely are one of the, if not the best receivers in the NFL and in the history of Minnesota Vikings football. With your catches today, I got to say it quietly, you passed Adam Thielen for third most in the history of the team. So we'll get that out of the way. You're the bomb. But I want to ask you this. How far back do you and Amik Robertson go? Because every time you guys get together, man, Louisiana Tech guys trying to beat up LSU guys.
Yeah, we go way back, since high school. So, the competition has always been there. The rivalry has always been there. But it's always great to go out there and, of course, see, that Louisiana native. And but, to go out there and to get that competitive spirit. And, I always live for those type of matchups.
Well, what was McCarthy like in the huddle late? I mean, 2 touchdown passes, 1 to you. He ran 1 in. But late in the game, crowd's loud. How'd he handle it?
I feel like he handled it great. I feel like he's been leading us, and he's been giving us those motivational speeches before we go out there. But it's just all about the confidence that he played with. Just clearing his mind from the extraness of this game. Just playing free and just going out there and just play our ball. Everything else is going to happen on its own. But I'm glad to see him out there with that energy, with that confidence, and to lead us to this victory.
Lastly, Addison with the run, a career long at 16, needed it like you needed to breathe. It was phenomenal. How about Jalen? I mean, Naylor, shoot. I mean, we'll just leave it like this due to circumstances. He, probably should have had about 3, 4, 5 touchdowns this year, but whatever, he doesn't. He only had 1 catch today, too. Right. He only had 1 catch today. It was arguably the biggest catch of the game. 16 yards, daggered the Lions. How about Jalen?
Oh, yeah. Definitely one of the biggest catches of the game. For that situation, 3rd down, under 2 minutes, only up by 3 points. So that play alone is something that we strive for, and we always say that we got to make a play in our receiver room. So for him to go up and make that play on that one-on-one coverage, JJ giving him an opportunity to go up and make a grab, it was phenomenal. It was great, and I said before. Going out there, we got to keep the ball in our hands. Let's not give this ball back to Detroit and give them an opportunity to go win this game. So it was just great to stay out there on that field to get that first time victory nil.
I know you haven't gotten into your phone and scores and stuff like that yet. Maybe you have. You guys win, cool. But another good team in the division, Green Bay, lost at home to the Carolina Panthers. I mean, it's a wide open league. Parity might be present, man, but that's kind of what a wonderful day this is, the way the whole thing worked out, right?
Oh, for sure. I always say it's any given Sunday. It's a crazy league. The NFL is difficult to play in, and any Sunday you can get somebody's best game. So it was definitely great to come here in a difficult environment to play in, and to get this victory, because we haven't won here in a couple years. So it was great to see these guys' happy faces and get back to winning.
Nice job, Bud. Congratulations.
Appreciate you.
Justin Jefferson, who had a touchdown catch today from from J.J. McCarthy. We got David Koob holding the contraption, almost left 18 hanging. Are you kidding me? First time holding the contraption. Of all people, you can't leave him hanging. All right, what's up, Walter? Good to see you, bud. All right, let's roll down here and slow roll this while we wait for a certain quarterback to become available. Here we go. Hey, JJ, just real quick, drive-by. What's up, bud? Congratulations, man. I'm just going to start with an open David Koob, JJ McCarthy, David Koob. I'm just going to leave it an open-ender. What was the day like?
It was amazing. It was amazing to just, be back in Michigan and, have this opportunity. I talked to the guys last night in my portion of the captain speaking, and I was telling them, I've been sleeping in my college bed this whole past week because obviously as us great dads, we got to get our sleep, right? And, it just got deja vu for the opportunity. I've been praying and asking God for an opportunity like this. And, I told the guys that, and you could just see them all light up. And it was just a fantastic way of, getting the dub here. But a lot of meat on the bone.
All right, so what was different with you third start compared to the first two? I mean, I'm calling it from a mile away, but it seems so calm and just like you've been here not for 3 games, man, but for like 30 to 300. Did it feel like that?
It did, because I feel like, I just found out what I really needed to focus on. The efficiency of thinking, understanding that there is such thing as overload of information, and just take into the game the stuff that's going to matter and that's going to apply against the defense. So, it was just great prep all week, and, we got to do it again next week.
Appreciate you, man. Congratulations.
Always appreciate you, PA.
J.J. McCarthy came back to Michigan, and where he was a star for the Wolverines, and he got all the money. Jalen. I mean, it's like I'm chatting with Kevin O'Connell earlier in the week on X's and O's, and I'm like, let's just say due to circumstances, like Naylor maybe should have some more catches, some more touchdowns, so we ain't going to look at the stats. We'll just end it right there. He agreed with me and said you're having a very good season. I mean, 1 catch today, 16 yards. Holy cow, was that a big catch, Jalen?
Oh, absolutely, man. To ice the game and get us out with a W. JJ trusting us and it's putting in the right spot to where I can go make the play, and I came down with it.
All right, so Metellus and McCarthy, a couple of Wolverines going nuts, jumping up and down. What about the Spartan? Let's not forget about the Spartan, right?
No, sir. You can't forget about us, man. Not a good season overall for the guys, for my guys at MSU, but I still love them to death, and just trying to put on for MSU.
Jalen Naylor, congratulations, man, on the victory, and we'll talk soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you, PA.
Yes, sir. Jalen Naylor, 1 catch, 16 yards, and it won the game. LDR. Hi, Jonathan Grenard. Good, thank you. Ben Lieber calls you El Presidente. All right, so we got some LDR in there today. You got your first full National Football League sack today. High five on that, LDR. You blocked the kick, didn't you?
I did, yes, sir.
You blocked the kick, man, and what a big block that was, right?
No doubt, yes, sir.
Josh Metellus, he blocked a kick.
Hey, first of all, yes, he did block the kick,
yeah.
But the work that these guys did in the run game, amen.
Yeah.
For number 44 to not have to tackle, for me not to have to tackle Jahmyr Gibbs in the open field,
That's awesome.
I mean, they did their job. That's what I came over here to tell him. He did amazing doing his job, and when you do your job, plays come. Shout out to you, boy.
Yeah, whether it's Tellus with Metellus, I mean, the future radio and TV career is big for him because he stole my bid. I mean, I was going to be like, that work you guys did on the defensive line. Now, granted, they lose their guards during the course of the game, very physical game, but he's right, man. They had 25 yards rushing at halftime. Your rush defense, with all due respect, have been problematic, especially at SoFi and some other games, but you get Van Ginkel back, and we got LDR, El Presidente, doing his thing. What a great win today.
Yes, sir. We needed that. Definitely got to go back to work on our techniques, fundamentals, man, and put everything together. Yes, sir.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Levi Drake Rodriguez. Hey, Jalen and Javon, if you got a second, Javon Hargrave. Fist bump, man. Congratulations on the victory. And I heard all week, offense and defense, trenches, all right? Physical, throw the first punch. Javon, fantastic work today. You had that sack. How the Javon Hargrave, how the game feel for you?
Oh, it felt good. Definitely we can come out and dominate like that and stop the run. And you put pressure on the quarterback and get the win. So
it's always a great feeling.
Javon, could you tell, with the way you guys were doing things early, that Jared Goff was kind of second-guessing things a little bit, holding it or maybe going short? Because, it seemed like you guys, he's a 74.5% guy into the game. At one point, he was 51%, so you guys did something.
Yeah, I ain't even know that. I don't really be knowing what be going on back there. I just be trying to beat the offensive lineman. So, well, that's good to know. I'm glad we did.
Hey, man, congratulations. Great to see that sack.
I appreciate it.
Jalen Redmond, physical game out there, man. Physical game. You got 4 sacks now. Ooh, Eric Wilson had 2, by the way. So you and Eric are nose and nose. Hargrave's only 1 behind you, but that's all good news, man, when physical players like that are getting sacks.
Yeah, that's all good. It's fun. Basically trying to rush and get back there. We all rushing to get back there, and it's good.
Congratulations on the victory, man. You're one of my favorites. Ravens next. We'll deal with Lamar next week. And, man, it's just so great to hear. Take the fight to somebody. Like we heard it up to the Cincinnati game off the Atlanta game, and you guys did. Heard it all week off the Chargers game. And, like how does that just turn on where it's like, all right, we got to go out there and throw the first punch?
Oh, man, just from the start, when KO defers it, when we get the ball and put the defense out, we just come out and do what we got to do.
Congratulations, my man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Jalen Redmond, let's Eric, I talked to your mom before the game, and we said nice words to her, so maybe you can give me a little drive-by here. Congratulations.
Right, drive-by. What's up, man? What's up?
Good. Redford, right?
Redford, yep.
Redford, like 20 minutes away from here.
About 20 minutes.
Yep. Your first start in your career, I believe, was at Ford Field. Your mom... Yep, your mom was there, and I talked to her on the sidelines like I did before London, and I think she said there were 23 to 25 friends and family members, and, you always play well, but, man, like when you have that many people here and you're back in your home state, does that, juice people up a little more?
Feels good, man. It definitely feels good having, your closest friends, closest family members here supporting you. Seems that way every time I played in Detroit, which is basically every year of my career. There's been about 20 plus people here supporting, so it's awesome seeing them out there. I'm sure my mom was out there screaming.
Yeah. And lastly here, because I know everybody has to go, identity. Okay, so like Cashman comes back, you get Ben. Well, by the way, with Van Ginkel, Cashman, and Grenard, you guys are 2-0 this year. They hadn't played together since Soldier Field, but now with you and Cashman, who had 14 tackles, kind of establishing, and Ivan, when he got in there too, was wreaking havoc. So that's pretty good when you start establishing that identity of stopping the run against Gibbs and Montgomery. That was big.
Yeah, they're going to run the ball. Teams have been trying to run the ball on us a lot, so it's been a point of emphasis for sure. Everybody playing together, everybody communicating, playing violent, man, playing together. They'll get tired with the simple things, man, doing it over and over again.
Congratulations. What's your mom's name?
Shannon.
She's fantastic. I talked to her before every game I see her on the sideline, man. She was so excited. Her face painted. You got kids with like purple and gold bows and everything. They were all fired up.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Mom, if you hear this, I love you.
We love you too. Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Cloud 9 sounds better in FM. So great to have that bubble burst. Need to sweep the Lions and the Packers to win the division, and step 1 is accomplished. Thank you, TimberTech. TimberTech What's on Deck set list includes talkbacks via the free iHeart audio app. You can submit a talkback with opinions and or views of the Vikings' victory over the Lions to the free iHeart audio app, and we are going to start playing them back with a marathon segment about 10:20. Nordo produces, and I'm Paul Allen. Vikes Bites are around the corner, but first, here comes Mad Producer with that Motown money thing.
The Fan and 2 Men in a Junk Truck want to give you a shot at some bonus bucks with the National Cash Contest. This hour's keyword is money. If you like money, you want the chance to win some money, enter the keyword money at KFAN.com. Vikes Bites is always brought to you It's Clearwater, Minnesota's finest, Thousand Hills, lifetime grazed, grass-fed beef.
Simulcast.
And you can shop online, and a box of meat will show up at your doorstep. Local Coburn's and Kowalski's locations, local co-ops, they're proud sponsors of Gophers Athletics. We love ourselves some beef, some Thousand Hills beef in particular. And I love me some J.J. McCarthy. Now, overall on the day, kid's third NFL game, all right? So 14 to 25. Let's bump that completion percentage up. $143 through the air. We ran for $142. A couple of TDs, did have the pick, threw it a little behind Mr. Addison, Mr. Naylor. But I saw a stat where he was against the blitz. He threw for about 75% and had a touchdown on the day. So I'm paraphrasing that because I had this stat in front of me and I have lost it, and I apologize. I was busy laughing about something else.
McCarthy against the blitz?
McCarthy specifically against the blitz. So we saw some pressures, good against the blitz. All of this rambling is to get to the point where I'm going to ask you, in a game where we were looking to see a pulse, in a game where we were looking to see growth, was there a moments, or an aspect of his game, his third NFL game, by the way? We've been waiting. We should have seen it against the Bengals. We had to wait a month and a half. Was there a moment or moments of McCarthy's game yesterday where it's like, okay, that kid's better today than he was week 2 against the Falcons when he tripped up that ankle?
I'm really, really glad you asked that question because I never know what's coming in Vikes Bites. And sometimes there are absolute 10 of 10 daggers, and this is one. I'm not going to say what he did on a few plays to Alex Anzalone. Should be a felony in 48 states. But he juked Alex Anzalone, who's quite the fine tackler, and he's very fast. He juked him a couple of times and just broke his ankles, including on the touchdown run where he busts out to the right. I'm like, all right, what you going to do? And then he runs. And Anzalone had an angle on him. Watch that sweet little hesitation by J.J. McCarthy to get himself into the end zone, and Anzalone went leaping and caught nothing but air. So it's tough to put Anzalone on bad moments like that, which is just God's natural gifts were on display. But secondly, I was chatting with former NFL MVP Rich Gannon last week, and we were talking about J.J. McCarthy, and he said in his first back after the Atlanta game, the one thing that he wants to start seeing, this is MVP talk right here, the one thing he wants to start seeing with J.J. McCarthy in this game is show us in patches the sucker has slowed down for you. Just show us it has slowed down for you. Walk out of the huddle confidently. If there's a bad play, get them back in the huddle confidently. Just show us that it's slowing down for you.
Yes.
I felt that absolutely out of the gate in the first quarter. I mean, you're in the belly of the beast at Ford Field immediately because of Laporta. So how's the kid going to handle it? He handled it with poise. He was just calm. He was just calmer today. That's why I brought it up in the drive-by. And, the way McCarthy put it about efficiency and some other things. But it kind of reminded me of when Julius Randle went down for the Minnesota Timberwolves on a nondescript Saturday against the lowly Wizards. And he's out for a month. And when he came back, he's having a conversation after a game with Leah B. Olson. And he's like, I've done this thing a long time. But until I was able to sit back and watch it from afar and kind of get a feel for where these guys want to be during games, it was revelatory for me. It opened my eyes. Same thing with McCarthy. He was able to sit back, learn from Wentz, who went 2 wins, 3 losses in his time, and just learn about nuance, knowing it was my job, it will be my job. But hey, look at this. For some reason, I didn't see this before, but now I do. So it was a step. It was a wonderful baby step taken by the 22-year-old, and it slowed down.
And thank you for that, because that brings me back to the stat that I had lost, that I had found.
Is it a Nordo number?
And it's courtesy of Ben Gessling of the Star Tribune. And it does indeed, if we're going to do Nordo's numbers, zone coverage style, thank you, Tom Schreier and everybody involved.
Zone coverage does a good job.
He hit me with a number that Jared Goff was 2 of 6 for 14 yards in the first half on 8 blitzes.
Yeah, Goff against the blitz is one of the best in the history of the NFL.
And he was hideous yesterday, specifically in the first half.
Yes.
The reason I bring that up is because the Ben Gessling bid, another number for you, the Lions generated 18 pressures and 5 sacks on JJ yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
On 13 blitzes yesterday, they generated 9 pressures and 2 sacks. JJ McCarthy, 7 of 11 against the blitz for a touchdown, 97 yards. Let's go.
Wow.
That's
elite.
So slowing down, the shifting, not freaking out in a game. Again, the baby steps. I like the way you put that.
I'm taking umbrage with the Lions sacks yesterday. In fact, I'm predicting there is a stat change or changes this week. Derek Barnes did not sack J.J. McCarthy when he ran out to the right. It's either a 0 gain or a tackle for loss. There were 2 of those.
So once he pulls the ball down, becoming a runner.
I'm like, why is that a sack? But not enough time to think about it. Why Laporta?
There was another one, by the way, where, he gave up, ref takes the ball and moves on. It looked like he was only touched by his own guy.
Thank
where he
you.
did the somersault yesterday. Remember that?
Yes.
And I don't think he was down, technically, although he gave himself up.
I'm texting O'Connell and banging my fist on the Formica, demanding he contact the NFL and send in these plays because they're not sacks.
I always love that one.
Beautiful part about it is winning. And, Bursic and the joke bit about coaches is you still give us something to complain about on Monday. Mm-hmm. Whether it was Tavier Thomas, the not running out of bounds thing on the ensuing punt that took place after he killed a 99-yard kick return.
It was 99.
I think it was 99. It was like a 100-yard.
I didn't know how long it was. I was relying on Poopy Dave because I was looking at something else. But I lost my mind a little bit on that. And Tavier does a really good job on special teams.
But something to complain about on a Monday is the special teams penalties. I don't want to say this is what got Kobe King waived, but he couldn't get himself in the mix as a linebacker. He's on special teams. We saw a bunch of special teams flags, and now Kobe King is waived. Mm-hmm. And that was, a couple of bad moments, tough moments in short order for Tavier. But with the kid QB, the cool thing about this and the growth and the baby steps, we're not sending him to Canton just yet.
Right.
But he throws this beautiful this beautiful near side shot to Addison in traffic between 2 defenders. But then he overthrows Justin Jefferson. He runs out to his right across his body. That gives some Vikings fans some bad memories. Mm-hmm. Fires a dart to TJ Hawkinson in the end zone for that second TD.
Yeah.
But then he'll make a mistake and underthrow or throw behind Jalen Naylor, right? The good times, the bad times of raising the kid. It's an opportunity for him to celebrate, but also say the job's not done. The baby steps yesterday were so fun to watch.
And same for Flores, because I can't recall a game, whether it's Lions or Rams or Cal Bears, where Jared Goff was so confused, he short-hopped no fewer than six plays.
I think Lieber nailed it yesterday, too.
What'd he say?
Well, he talked about a patient defense. He said that they were doing a significantly better job of not even mugging the gap pre-snap or getting antsy and starting to inch forward.
Yeah.
That they were almost like they simplified the pre-snap, but then they were still coming, right? Like Eric Wilson, there was no shocker that 5.5 was coming up the middle. Ivan Pace is kind of, using him in spurts, getting him back into the mix on defense. You kind of knew he was going to come, but there wasn't the mugging. There wasn't the rotations. There wasn't the pre-snap looks. And I thought that, Lieber called it a patient defense where they were doing a much better job disguising those blitzes, and it came through in spades yesterday.
And see, that's one thing with the Dan Campbell press conference I listened to last night that frustrated me. And I like Dan. Dan does a really, really good job. And I know people on his staff who have been around Dan all pretty much the last 10, 15 years. Dan is a wonderful, wonderful coach for this team. He's a wonderful coach, period. But they're off what you just said. he was asked a question in his press conference yesterday, and he was like, well, we've seen all those mugs. We've seen all those stunts and twists. There wasn't anything that we hadn't seen from them. I'm going to respectfully disagree, because I can't recall in a Vikings-Lions game over the last 4 years where the Vikings so frequently ran 2 safeties to the line of scrimmage, and then when it's kill, 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 all right, so play change. And right before the snap, remember Smith and Jackson retreating?
Yeah.
Sprinting back to like deep safety spots. That's new. I mean, with all due respect, Dan, because I like the Lions, man. I'm not mad at the Lions.
Well, I've seen Harrison do that quite a bit.
Not both. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is that both?
I get you. Okay,
Is that 2 and 3 were doing it in retreat fashion right before the snap, where Goff didn't have a chance to think it out. So
no, he didn't.
I mean, with all due respect, Dan, that's kind of new, man.
Is Harrison Smith back, by the way?
He was phenomenal yesterday.
Best game of the season. Had only been playing about 50% of the snaps, and yesterday he was a massive factor.
But see, Dan, I mean, occasionally, every so often, people have the opportunity, or people, it's not bad, or you don't do a bad job if people trick you.
Right.
Okay, and you got tricked a few times. So
the other team can win, yeah.
There were self-inflicted wounds by them, and there was a lot of, I'm sure, of what you've seen. But, then he said another thing where he's like, that was so uncharacteristic of how we play and what we do. In fact, it's the worst overall bit maybe that we've had in X amount of years. And I'm like, bro, don't you remember the Commanders playoff game? I mean, come on. That press conference, that's why I texted you like 11:30. I'm like, this thing has me mesmerized.
We're out of time, but Vikes Bites always brought to you by Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Grass-Fed
Simulcast. All right. When we return, the Hoffman Cooling and Heating Weekend Wrap, followed by the analyst, Pete Bursich, thanks to Sioux Cup Manufacturing. Then your talkbacks about 30 minutes from now from the iHeart Audio app. You're listening to FM 100.3 KFAN. This is 9 to noon. Weekend Wrap, courtesy of HoffmanHeating.net. Scott Hendricks, everybody else with Hoffman Cooling and Heating. Wonderful, wonderful company, and a standalone company, too. So you don't get lost in the rigmarole of the big guys, so to speak. Hoffman Cooling and Heating, HoffmanHeating.net to get that furnace tuned, and much more. Thank you. The Los Angeles Dodgers are world champions.
Coming to Kirk. Broken back, ground ball. Betts has it, steps on the bag. The throw to first. Double play! From backs against the wall to back. The Dodgers cement their dynasty.
The Los Angeles Dodgers are World Series champions. What a series. The Toronto Blue Jays offered everything they had. They gave their very best, but their best was second best. And props to this cat named Miguel Rojas, all right? I mean, on a team with Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman and Will Smith and Max Muncy and Yamamoto and Clayton Kershaw and so on. Miguel Rojas, I mean, copyright Tommy Lasorda. There was a point in the NLCS and World Series, Miguel Rojas wouldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat.
I always love that one.
But Dave Roberts recognized leadership and defense matter. So he dusted off Rojas late in the series, used him. He hit a massive home run, and he made some big defensive plays for this big blue. So props to Miguel Rojas. The little guy prevailed, and the Los Angeles Dodgers are World Series champions. NFL. Wait. What happened at Lambeau?
Here we go. 49-yard field goal attempt, Ryan Fitzgerald. 57 yards, as Larry mentioned, is his long. Sam Martin will hold. J.J. Jansen, the former Packer, on the snap. 49-yarder. Off the left hash. Martin down on one knee, arm extended. Snap, placement. The kick is up. And it is good. And the Panthers have won. 16-13, Carolina.
And there is your dagger!
Oh, geez. Wow. Carolina was outgained by 100 yards. The home team didn't punt, won the time of possession, was markedly better on third down, and threw for almost triple the Panthers' final yardage and lost.
You can't talk that way and be taken seriously.
The Sultan of Smug joins 9 to noon, somewhere in the neighborhood of 10:45. That would be David Senecan. To Cincinnati with the Hoffman Cooling and Heating Weekend Wrap. Wobble, wobble, toil and trouble, fire, burn, and cauldron wobble.
Safeties are back deep. Adunze motions left. They're blitzing. It's picked up. Caleb throws. Middle of the field. Loveland catch. Breaks away the 30. Loveland 20. Loveland 10. Loveland end zone. Touchdown Bears. Colston Loveland on a throw by Caleb Williams on the blitz with 17 seconds to go.
Give me the fade to black.
And the Bears reclaim the lead. 47-42.
Do it.
It's a 58-yard strike to the Michigan rookie and his second touchdown today. He outran the Bengals.
Damn it, Jeff.
Here in the jungle. The Bears have the lead again.
Joniak's so good.
We're coming. Yeah, Jeff Joniak is the bomb as a play-by-play guy. The fade to black reference would be fading to black with a victory for the Chicago Bears. Wobble, wobble, toil and trouble, fire, burn, and cauldron wobble. Down a point with 37 seconds to go. Wobble's squad went 72 yards in 4 plays and got a 58-yard game winner from Michigan rookie Colston Loveland. He registered the first 2 scores of his career, and it desperately was needed to offset Joe Flacco's 474. Joe Flacco almost went for 500, and he had 4 touchdowns.
Fantasy feast.
What a fantasy feast that was.
2 of them went to Higgins.
The Bears now are 5-3, and beloved BJ has them feeling quite good about themselves. Ain't it great when somebody little comes up big?
So here we go, a 68-yarder from the left hash. Out of the hold of Logan Cook. Logan puts it down. Cam Little kicks it up. The 68-yard field goal is good! He drilled it from 68 yards on the last play of the half. How good is that?
Outstanding. And here's the thing. You just got a bolt of energy as a football team on that 68-yard field goal.
How good is that? Well, we can answer it for you. It's a National Football League record. That's how good it is. Nice work, big boy. They happen to call little. Finchy got the money Saturday night against Charlotte, blew out the Hornets thanks to a 72-point second half. They are back. They're back at it tonight. The Wolves are at Brooklyn tonight, which absolutely should be a dub. No PJ today due to the bye. And the Covenant gets to experience the extra days with happiness, glee, and joy.
Hinostroza counters. Numbers developing. Hinostroza left circle a shot.
Stop. That's my bad. 3-2. 3-2. No PJ today due to the bye, and the Covenant gets to experience the extra days with happiness, glee, and joy. And speaking of Sky Yuma, Bucky's hockey team remained undefeated, and they plan to stay that way this weekend and swept the maroon and gold last weekend. Dang, Motzko's squad is 2-7-1. And the Wrap puts a wrap on the wrap with stick taps for the Christmas colors.
Hinostroza counters. Numbers developing. Hinostroza left circle a shot. He scores! Vinny Hinostroza off the rush. Muscled it past the glove of Defco, and the Wild have a 2-goal lead.
Joe Woe on the call, crush the Couve, and to stop that terrible losing streak. Few days off to recalibrate, then host Bruno's Predators Tuesday. That's the Weekend Wrap, courtesy of Hoffman Cooling and Heating and Hoffman.net. The Analyst is next.